for this West Indian innings. Their innings is reduced to 38. 3 bowlers are allowed to bowl 8 overs. 2 bowlers can bowl 7 overs. And the field restrictions are in force for 11 overs. One thing I can tell you is that the West Indies will come out throwing the bat at everything, because they'll have one eye on the weather and one eye on the 90 runs they need in those 15 overs if they might be in the position of winning on a rain-shortened match. 7. Gordon Greenwich taking strike. Terry Alderman is the bowler. Now, the other day, Alderman was unable to swing the ball. He'll be hampered a little bit by a wet ball here tonight, but that first one did appear as though it got off the line. Greenwich the batsman, Alderman the bowler, and in the commentary box, Ian Chappell and Bill Lorry.
Thanks, Richie, and good evening all. Magnificent performance by the Australians. Absolutely amazing, in fact, is the only way to describe it. And Greenwich starting where he left off the other night here in Sydney. The boundary of Terry Alderman. Absolutely incredible innings by Dean Jones, Bill.
Yes, Dean Jones, Alan Border and Steve Waugh played 3 of the great knocks in one-day international finals. We see this shot again from Gordon Greenwich. He brought this crowd alive. I've never seen such an excited and happy crowd, and it was a great effort against the clock. They really come out and scored 10 runs and over and showed what one-day international cricket is all about. You have a contest, even when there's rain, there's going to be a result. The best side's certainly going to win.
And there's a man out there, straight down his throat, Stephen Waugh. What a start for Australia. Terry Alderman just drifting onto leg stump. Gordon Greenwich hit that right off the middle of the bat, straight to Stephen Waugh.
And that's been the difference between the two sides. The Australian batsmen found the gaps when they went for the outfield. This was really a sucker play because Border placed him specifically there on the long boundary, and he hit it straight down his throat. A superb catch under pressure, and Terry Alderman picks up the vital wicket of Gordon Greenwich, and it's 1 for 4 in the first over. And what a match. Great bowling. Greenwich out for 4.
Richie Richardson comes in at number 3 with the West Indies in a spot of bother. Big shout from behind, and he's been given. Umpire Prue took quite a while, but eventually he signals Richie Richardson out to a great outswinger from Terry Alderman.
There was never any doubt. You could hear the big nick. It was away from his pad. Umpire Prue took a long time, but you could tell there's the nick, the deflection, straight through to Healy. There was no doubt. And Alderman, with 2 wickets in the first over, really puts a cut amongst the pigeons. What a great performance by the Australian team in a shortened match. They batted first, and now they've got the West Indies reeling in the first over. Richardson, the fine players, had a great summer. Out for a duck, and it's 2 for 4. Haynes hasn't had a touch, he's on 0. Richards has now got the strike on 1.
Great shot from Viv Richards. Just over pitching a fraction. And Richards is really out there to take advantage of those first 11 overs. The match reduced to 38 overs and 11 for the field restrictions.
They've scored 6 runs and over to win this match now, and it's not going to give the batsmen much time to settle in.
Beautiful shot. That'll be 6. Good over for the West Indies, 2 for 20.
And that's 6. That's a huge hit way into the hill. Viv Richards has obviously decided that tonight is going to be his night.
That's just as big as the one off Alderman. You might say it's the shorter side of the outfield, but that was going to be a 6 anywhere.
The West Indies were 2 for 47 when the rains came for the second time and the players were off the field for 82 minutes. When play resumed, the West Indies had to score a total of 108 runs off 18 overs. And they have 8 wickets in hand, but they also have a long tail. In fact, it's not going to be Hughes. He came over and wanted to get hold of the ball, but it looks as if Border is going to turn to Stephen Waugh. Oh, that's a magnificent shot. Far too short, that delivery. Richards is a magnificent puller. There are 2 men back there, and he still managed to hit it firmly enough into the gap.
Those 2 men on the fence are only about 20 metres apart, and that's bisected them and gave neither a chance.
He's hit that in the air, and that's into the gap too. 1 bounce into the fence, and another boundary. Richards is on fire.
Viv made his intentions clear at the beginning of the innings before the rain interrupted. He got off to a flying start. He was 23 off just 12 deliveries. 2 of those 12 deliveries.
Taylor is going to take up the attack for Australia. Ray. He's got that over the infield. There's no one back there, so another boundary to Viv Richards. 2 for 67. Well, there's no one at backward point, and that has gone scooting away down to the boundary. Into the fence she goes. And so the West Indies making pretty light of this target.
Pretty hard to cover all of the boundaries, and pretty hard for Peter Taylor with a wet ball to bowl. He has the onside protected. No one on the offside fence.
Oh, and he's got it away again. That's running away over the outfield too. And so that's the over. 12 runs from it. The score is now 2 for 88.
Simon O'Donnell coming into the attack. Alderman 4 overs, 2 for 22, is mauled by Richards.
Desmond Haynes has placed quite a few away there backward a point. He hit 2 in the last over from Peter Taylor.
But from the West Indian point of view, they lost the first game at Melbourne when everybody thought they would win. They come out all guns blazing on Monday night. And tonight, the great man Richards has risen to the occasion. The captain, he wants to go through this summer undefeated. He wants to win the Benson Hedges World Series Cup. The Test Series maybe 5-0. 5 4s and 2 6s off only 35 balls faced.
That's a magnificent shot for 6. Turned inside out and hit that one over cover. What a great shot. His 3rd 6.
There was no one hand to that. That was a calculated shot, brings up his 50. And have a look at this. Beautifully timed. He opened the face, and that's over almost a square cover at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Was pitching on about middle and leg stump, and that's the shot of a master batsman. Skill, control, just natural ability.
That's a fantastic shot as well. 1 bounce over the long on fence.
Brings up the 100, 2 for 103, but he's making it look easy because he's a great, great player. Is there a drizzle? Can it rain?
I think it's going to have to happen before the next ball was bowled in the way, the form this bloke's in. And perhaps he's decided that Desi should have the honour of hitting the winning runs.
It's a master innings, as Dean Jones did earlier. Played superbly. Three magnificent sixes, one over cover. The last over was a gem. Everybody inside the circle. Peter Taylor coming in to slip. So they're going to give Desmond Haynes a chance to loft the ball over the infield for the winning runs.
And a magnificent shot goes into the crowd, and that brings victory to the West Indies. Desmond Haynes charging off the ground, and he waits for Viv, and they're not waiting for anybody else. So the victory goes to the West Indies, 2 matches to 1 in the World Series Cup competition, and there doesn't seem to be any feeling there that it's a slightly hollow victory. They're quite delighted about it.
Well, and so they should be. They come back after a drubbing in Melbourne. When they lost by 2 runs, they didn't bat very well. They batted superbly. But the Australians today, Alan Border must be bitterly disappointed with the Sydney weather at least. His batsmen did a great job in 38 overs, scoring 226 for 4. They only lost 4 wickets. Jones playing a gem, as did Border and Stephen Waugh. But at the end of the day, it was the West Indies. Who knows, they may have got 226 off 38 overs, but a great ovation for the captain. They gave 200%, and you can ask no more of any side.
Welcome back, and what a terrific performance from the West Indians, even though they had the big advantage there of knowing they were batting second in a rain-marred match and that reduction of overs. Some lovely strokes from Viv Richards. Their card shows how well Haynes and Richards batted. They lost those 2 early wickets, 2 for 4 they were, then Haynes 40 and 35 balls, and Richards glorious strokes all round the ground, 60 from 40 balls, 2 for 111. They only needed 108 in 18 overs. And the bowling figures for Australia: Alderman 2 for 22. He'd almost bowled out his 4 overs when they came back after the rain. Hughes number 21, Waugh number 27, Taylor number 23, O'Donnell no wicket for 12. Well, the Players of the Finals award was shared by Desmond Haynes and Alan Border in these best of 3 matches. And here's the chairman of the Australian Cricket Board, Mr. Malcolm Gray, to make the presentation.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Alan. You can share it. Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Congratulations, Desmond. I suppose that's going to go home with you. Alan's going to have to wait for his.
Yeah, I think Alan should let me take them, and then he can afford to get his down here because he's at home.
Well, have you enjoyed the Benson Hedges World Series Cup this year?
Definitely.
Congratulations to you, Alan. I suppose we all agree that the formula, it's a very difficult one to work out. We've obviously got to continue to try and find something that's more acceptable in a rain-interrupted game.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations that when the rain comes, the side batting first is at such a disadvantage, and we've tried a few different things, but to date nothing's really worked. But maybe we can sit down and try and come up with a slightly fairer formula for the side that has to bowl second.
Even more difficult today because after that dryish pitch where it was very difficult to bat second, and we must say that he did improve the little scenario. Obviously, whatever he did, I think a little bit of extra moisture in the pitch helped a lot.
Yeah.
And so that made it even more difficult to make that decision, knowing that there was perhaps going to be some rain around.
Well, I've played a lot of the games and they predict showers and they never come. So we just felt that, the way the wicket was, if it was a bright sunny day, the advantage was batting first and getting a decent score on the board. But as it turned out, when the rain came, our task was doubly difficult, and with the extra moisture on the wicket, it just played very, very well.
Thank you, Alan. I now have pleasure in presenting to the captain of the West Indies, Viv Richards, the winning cheque for $32,000. The West Indies, as they have proved throughout the summer, are a fine team of cricketers and athletes, and the Australian crowd has enjoyed every time you've gone on the ground, Viv. Congratulations to you and to every one of your team.
Thank you very much. Yeah, first of all, let me say to the sponsors, for sponsoring such a magnificent tournament. Without the sponsors, I think, it would have been nil. And we just hope, that we look forward to their continued, sponsorship, so that we can go there and at least do some entertaining as we did tonight and throughout the series so far. I think we'd like to say thank you again to the people, who have come and supported the games. It's been magnificent, and we look forward to seeing you. Maybe it may not be the West Indies, but continued success throughout. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Viv, and thank you too to the Chairman of the Australian Cricket Board, Mr. Malcolm Gray. Well, now I've got great pleasure introducing Mr. Phil Smith, who's the Chairman of the Benson Hedges Company, and he's going to make the presentation to Vivian Richards of that magnificent Benson Hedges trophy.
Thank you very much, Tony. It is a magnificent trophy. The Benson Hedges Company have been sponsoring the World Series Championships for some 10 years now. The West Indies have won on 5 occasions. Vivian, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Australian public and the Benson Hedges Company for a wonderful innings tonight by yourself personally, leading from the front, and to both you and Alan Border for a marvellous exhibition of cricket throughout their one-day series. Would you please accept this from the Benson Hedges Company?
Thank you very much.
And heartiest congratulations.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Viv, before you go and fill that up with champagne and go and celebrate with your players, it's been a tremendous competition. You've enjoyed the atmosphere out there this summer?
I'd like to think so, because it's sad, because we suffered, I think, when we went back out there to bowl those remaining 14 overs, and Australia played well. And for some reason the rain came again, and it was reduced, to 18 overs, and it gave us a chance, to go out there and play the way we did tonight, But I think for the series so far, we've had a magnificent series. I think both teams played some magnificent cricket, and we may have won the cup tonight, but I think the game obviously made that, and it's just some blessing from the Almighty Father.
Well, thank you very much, and well played today. So there we are, Richie. That's all from down here. Vivian Richards has got the cup. He's no doubt going to hold it up for everyone who's waiting out in here and outside to see it. But isn't that a great, the Benson & Hedges World Series trophy to the West Indies? Back to you.
Thank you, Tony. And now just a reminder of the Test match coming up here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. That's on January 26 to 30, Australia against the West Indies. It's always a marvellous social occasion and generally a very, very good game of cricket on a pitch where the ball will be allowed to turn a little, and the pace bowlers will still be able to get some assistance from the surface. So that's all from the Benson & Hedges World Series Cup. The best of 3 finals won by the West Indies in this third encounter on a faster scoring rate after Australia had won the first match of the series and West Indies the second. It's good night now from the SCG, from everyone connected with Nine's Wide World of Sports.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.